Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, today we're going to continue looking at the 2023 new Halloween releases from Department 56. And now we're going to look at probably the most anticipated release for the season, and that is the Trick-or-Treat Lane series. This is the Kraken House. People have been going crazy for it. I will tell you, after looking at it close up and personal, seeing it lit up, it is worth the hype that you see going around on the internet. If you haven't seen this piece in person, you really need to. It's really well made. It lights up beautifully, at least I think, in my opinion. I think it'd be a great asset to your house. And then we're going to look at the coordinating piece that comes with that, or that you can buy sold separately for that, and that is X marks the spot, which is the father and his son looking at a little treasure map standing out in front of the Kraken House. So with that, let's jump in and take a much closer look at this 2023 Department 56 Halloween release. Okay, like everything, we start with a box. And again, we're not going to go through the whole box details. You saw that. If you didn't see that and the box details and you want to see that, go watch the 2023 the Witch Hollow release of Trixie's Tricks and Treats. I go through the box in great detail. But here you can see that the Kraken House is there. You can see at the bottom it is a ceramic building. And again, the cool picture on the front kind of showcasing the house with the black trees and everything else. Now, if you want this house, I think this is going to be a sellout, just like all Trick-or-Treat Lane probably will be. This one's going to cost you $250. It's pretty spendy. It's also a pretty cool house. And then if you want the accessory that goes with this, X marks the spot, that piece is going to cost you $40. And you can see the box for X marks the spot. We'll take a look at both of those in great detail. But let's take a look at this house. I love the look. Now, the camera doesn't really honestly do it a whole lot of justice. I mean, it does. This is a good video and good camera footage, but the glow of this house really just has to be seen. It looks spectacular with the green lights. At least I think it does, right? And so these, well, let's just go in. Let's move X marks the spot out of the way and let's take a closer look at the house. Man, this is, so for those of you who don't know, some people are like, man, the house is way overdone. It's too much lights, too many tentacles. So the whole premise behind the Trick-or-Treat Lane homes they're supposed to be way overdone. They're supposed to be over the top. These are the folks in your neighborhood that love Halloween, that just go crazy in decorating. And so, you know, one neighbor starts it, next thing you know, you've got a whole street doing it, and nobody wants to be outdone. And so this year, it's going to be hard to outdo any of the other neighbors to outdo the Kraken House. And so in the front, sitting on the sidewalk here, and here's some of the things that you can see that I don't like, right off the bat. Look at the paint job, and I'll tilt this back a little bit, of this pumpkin. I know they're all hand painted, I get it, but whoever painted this needs to slow down on the coffee or something in the morning. They had jitters all over the place, and they painted the grass all around the pumpkin. So it looks like, I mean, I guess that's reminiscent of a pumpkin here in Arizona sitting out in the summer where it's starting to actually melt. But for $250, slow down on the paint job, right? So I am a little disappointed in details like that, right? And so if you have it, let me know. And then you can kind of see zoomed in here on the porch, the leaf. Well, the mold is there, but the leaf is not completely painted. It's painted kind of like the porch. So I am somewhat disappointed in the paint job on this particular house. Okay, then you've got the treasure chest down here with all the gold coins. That's pretty good down there. It's not too bad. I mean, you can see some detail work missed down here. It's just, you know, whatever. It's hard to find good help anymore, I suppose. But you can see the treasure chest with all the jewels. Some are painted, some are not. But you get the idea of the treasure chest out front. And then you've got, you know, beware of the Kraken on the sign that is kind of, you know, symbolic of what this house is all about. And then as you zoom back out of the house, you've got the front door, which I think is great. I love the red of the door. I love the yellow of the windows. And you got some light you can kind of see there shining through the window of the door. You've got the beware sign, which is really, really nicely painted as a doormat for the Trick-or-Treat Lane home. And then you've got on the side here, you've got a couple of sisal type bushes that are permanently affixed to the house, and you've got a big anchor sitting there. And then you've got these tentacles that are coming out of the house, and I think they're probably plastic. I don't want to pull on them to figure out how secure they are to the house because they may come off, but this house is something that I would absolutely be careful with. But they seem, quite honestly, like they are pretty sturdy on this house. I mean, I'm rocking the whole house back and forth, and they're not coming off. So I think they're cemented on there pretty good. And they're coming out of the roof, they're coming out of the side of the house, they're coming out of the windows, they're coming out from the foundation on the other side of the house. So the house itself looks pretty good. The paint job on the house is not too bad. The green kind of helps to illuminate everything. You can see the fall leaves painted on the tops. It's a pretty good job there. Easier, I guess, to get to. Maybe the person all jacked up on Mountain Dew or caffeine took a break and somebody else came along and finished painting this, because they did a pretty good job up here at the top and down on the sides here. And so the house itself in general, and even from a distance, looks pretty good. It's things that you would not normally see really by just glancing at the house. But man, to me, that pumpkin is just, it just bothers me, something fierce. I'm a sucker for details, and I know most of you guys are too. So, hey, if you have the Kraken House, if you have it, you've looked at it, let me know if your pumpkin looks like that. Because this is the only one I've seen, so I could in person, so I couldn't tell you. It certainly doesn't look like that on the box. So I'm curious to know if it was just, you know, the person that painted mine was shaking a lot or something. But hey, nonetheless, I've got the house and I love it. So now we'll take the tree out and go over to the side. Again, the roof is nothing spectacular. It's well painted. Brown shingles, nothing too spectacular. I love the fall leaves on the top of the house and on the eaves over here. I love the whole design of the house. I mean, it's very simple, but it's very believable. I love the paint job around the windows. I like the way the windows look. So no complaints there. The back of the house, kind of come around here, is very quaint. The little vent at the top, that's not a window, it's a vent. Obviously, it doesn't light up. But all the windows on the back of the house light up minus the door, just painted, but it's a good paint job. All around the house is painted really nice. No issues at all. The paint looks really, really good for the most part. Just that pumpkin that I need to stop talking about it. And so now we take this tree off here and come around to this side. You've got the side of the house, which looks very good. Again, the fall leaves up around the chimney look great. You've got the chimney, which has got good detail. You've got the little door down there at the bottom, and you've got a little window right beside this big black. Now, this is more of a plastic posable tree. These don't hold their shape real well, and they kind of go back to where they kind of stay in the box. You can kind of see how that works, but they do look pretty good, and I think they're better than the older wire type trees that may be wrapped in brown floral tape or whatever that was on them. Those are easier to pose and bend into shape, but these I think maybe look a little bit better, especially if you could get them kind of brushed out and stay the way you want them. But all in all, back from a distance, this house looks spectacular. I love the look of the green lights around this house. I think that part is really well done. And I think it's a really well thought out, a really cool design for this year's Trick-or-Treat Lane theme. Okay, so there you have it. There's the Kraken House that's been on so many people's radar this season. And again, I think it lives up to most of the hype. I'm very happy to have it in my collection. And I wouldn't change it if I could. So now let's move on to the accessory. This is X marks the spot. Now, let's look at the box here. The only downfall to me is right there. This is a ceramic accessory. I like ceramic houses. I like ceramic buildings. I'm not a big fan of ceramic accessories. And we'll put this little guy and his father up here so we can get a better look. But, I mean, this is a cute figure. And the reason I don't like the ceramic stuff is the only reason is look at all the lights shining off of this. That's the only reason. It's just too glossy and too glassy for me, but it is a very well done piece. The paint job is really, really well done. You can see just from the boots and the pants and the whole little pirate themed outfit, you can see their face. I mean, these are really, really well done as far as painting. Look at the detail on the bird. I mean, these are all hand painted. So whoever did the ceramic pieces here clearly knew what they were doing. The paint is really well done. There's no smears or mixed up areas. It's just a really, really good paint job. So this looks really good. And you can see on the map, if you zoom in close enough, you can see the top says treasure map. You've got an X at the bottom, a palm tree. It looks like some mountains and some little footsteps to kind of track. And the dad's got his hands on his son's shoulders. And it's just a very cool, nostalgic feeling, and it goes perfectly with the house. The only downside for me is it's ceramic. I wish it was resin, and I wish if it would have been resin, it would have been painted this nice. It's really, really, really detailed, and I like that. So it coordinates perfectly with the house. Let's put this back in front of the house. Now imagine this would be, on a sidewalk or something like that. I'm just trying to get our trees put back in to kind of get the whole scene reestablished here. But if you can kind of imagine this setting with a little sidewalk out front, and you've got these guys out in front of this house, getting ready to head out for trick-or-treat on Halloween. I can imagine that the dad helped make the map, and that's maybe a map of their neighborhood as they walk down Trick-or-Treat Lane to kind of go to some of the other houses and try to get all of their candy as much as they possibly can. So I like the whole concept behind that. I like how these two pieces coordinate with each other. So to me, it's very well done. So there you have it. There's a better and closer look at the 2023 Department 56 release for the Kraken House, and the coordinating accessory X marks the spot. Okay, well, hopefully that gives you a better insight to what you can expect with the 2023 Department 56 Trick-or-Treat Lane, the Kraken House. Again, I think the house is marvelous. I think it's well done. I think it's a great concept. I also think that if you're going to pay $250 for a house, that there should be some more quality assurance in ensuring that the small details are well done. And as it goes through the process, somebody should have said, for this particular house and that pumpkin, and I know I'm a little over the top on that stuff. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. But the details make the piece. And $250 is a lot to ask for a porcelain house. And so that should have been sent back and redone and come out to look more representative of like the box. Other than that, I think the house is spectacular. Again, the design, the green lights, the ambiance and the glow is spot on, in my opinion. I think it's one of the better Trick-or-Treat Lane houses that I've seen. I think it's going to sell out. I think it's going to be a collector's item for years to come. I just wish they had a little more quality control as we're going into 2023 and beyond. We'll see if that continues. I don't know. The coordinating accessory piece, by all standards, and considering that it is ceramic, is wonderfully done. The paint job is perfect. It's flawless, if you ask me. It's a very well done piece. I just prefer the resin pieces. There's nothing I can do about that. I obviously have it in my collection. It will stay in my collection. It coordinates perfectly with this home. It looks beautiful together. So no really complaints. I just prefer resin accessory pieces over ceramic or porcelain pieces. But in a nutshell, very pleased with where we're at for the 2023 Trick-or-Treat Lane series. Again, if you have this house, I would love to hear in the comments if your pumpkin or other parts of your home look like mine, or are they better? And I hope and pray that they're better. If they are better, I may box this one up, take it back to my local Hallmark, and try to look at maybe getting a different one if that's possible. But let me know in the comments if yours looks that way, or kind of what your thoughts are on the whole house in general. Hey, with that, if you've liked this video, make sure you click the like button. And as always, if you haven't subscribed for the channel, what are you waiting on? It helps the channel to grow. It certainly helps me out. It helps to motivate me to do more and more of these videos, and gets me more and more in the mood to start creating and showing you guys how I do all this stuff. So hey, with that, like always, take care of yourselves. We will talk again real soon.